Right, so we're going to get started with the PowerPoint lesson. A few things to note. First of all, the files for this class are called Slides Student Deck and Slides Outline. It's the same for the Google Slides class and the PowerPoint class, so you don't have to worry about that. And also, usually when we teach our presentation classes, we have the window snapped where we have our PowerPoint on one side and our Word doc with the outline on the other. The recording software doesn't play nice with having two windows at once, so I'm just going to be switching between the tabs and we'll make it work. So the first slide I'm going to work on is slide 1, my title slide. I'm going to go into my Word document. You can see I have the title and the subtitle here. I'm just going to first copy my title, paste it into the title section of my slide. Same thing with the subtitle. And all those paste options, you can select keep to text only. Okay, moving on to slide 2, we're going to be inserting a text box. So to do that, we want to go over to the Insert tab, Text Group, Text Box, and then it will turn my cursor into what kind of looks like a sword. So that's indicating that I can draw a text box onto my slide. So ultimately, I'm going to want my text box over here by the southwest. So I can put my cursor somewhere around there. We can move it later, so it doesn't matter too much. Just click, hold, and drag. You can see that changes the shape of my text box. And I release the cursor. My text box is here. And in that, I'm going to type top seller. So we're going to be indicating that the southwest is our top seller. And if I want to move my text box, just put my cursor over the dotted line. When you see the four-pointed arrow, you can click, hold, and drag, move it wherever you want. When you see those red dotted lines pop up, those are called the alignment guides. That helps you put elements on your slide in line with other things. Let's say, for instance, here it's telling me it's in line with the middle of my title text. Okay, so we're going to skip over slide 3 for now and go to slide 4. And we want to go into our Word document. We have this table here, congratulations top salespeople. I don't need the bolded title over here, but I do need this whole table. So I want to start with my cursor in the salesperson cell, highlight down to the bottom of cookie sold and copy. Go back to my PowerPoint. I'll be pasting it on the slide. I can see the paste options, some copy over better than others. It's going to pick keep source formatting for now. And if I wanted to get rid of this text box in the background, because we won't be using it, I can put my cursor over the dotted line. When I see the four-pointed arrow, click on the text box. And if I right-click and cut, then our text box goes away. If I want to increase the size of my table, click on the table. See all these circles around the edge. When I put my cursor over any of them, it turns into an arrow. That indicates I'd be moving or increasing the size of the table in that direction. And then I can move my table wherever I want on the slide. Then we're going to move on to slide 5. This one, again, we're going back to our Word document and copying the next table over here, items and revenue by region. We don't need the title as before. We're going to start in our first cell that says region and copy all the way down to the end. Go back to our PowerPoint, but you don't want to paste it in the slide quite yet. Instead, what we're going to do is go into the Insert tab, Illustrations Group, Chart, and then we're going to be using this first chart. It suggests the clustered column. I'm just going to press OK. And then that will populate a clustered column chart in my PowerPoint, then give me this mini Excel window up here that I can use to edit the data in my chart. Now, when you put in the chart, it gives you placeholder data. I didn't enter any of this, it just filled it in by default. It has nothing to do with anything we're doing. They just have it in there to show an example of what a clustered column could look like. So if you'll remember, we have our table from the Word document on our clipboard. We want to click into cell A1, this one in the top left. Make sure the green outline is around that cell, and I can paste in my table from before. We can see it has our regions, the total units sold, and the grand total revenue. I'm going to increase my Excel window temporarily. You don't need it for this class, but just for general knowledge, these are all showing up here as number signs because it means the column is not wide enough to accommodate what the data in it. So if I increase my column size, the number signs will go away. And then series 3 over here is a holdover from our placeholder data. We don't need any of that. So we're just going to click on the letter D up here to select column D. Right click on that letter, then delete. You can see our chart updated here. It said series 3 down here before, now it doesn't. We can close our mini Excel window. I don't know why that also closed PowerPoint. And if I want to make my chart smaller so I can see there's the chart title over here, I can do that. And I want to delete my chart title. We have the slide title here, so we already know what this chart is indicating. Just going to click on that text box, press the delete key on the keyboard, and that gets rid of the title text box and increases the size of our chart a little bit with that extra space. And again, not necessary, but I'm going to delete this text box in the background. Then I can move my chart wherever I want. You want to make sure, as you might be seeing, you can move the whole chart or you can move just the plot area, which is this part with our actual data. If that happens, just press the undo arrow up the top. Make sure you're grabbing the line for the whole chart. It's very easy to accidentally just grab the plot area, so you don't have to rush, just make sure you have the right thing selected. Okay, next we're going to go into slide 6. This one, for now, we're just going to be changing the slide layout. We're going to go into the Home tab, Slides Group, Layout, change it to Section Header. Next step, it doesn't matter which slide you're on because we're going to be applying a theme to our entire presentation. So if we go into the Design tab, we can see there are all these different themes here. When you put your cursor over a theme, it gives you a preview on that slide of what your theme might look like. If you click on the down arrow over here, it gives you more options. You can see all the different themes that come preloaded into PowerPoint. You can pick whichever one you want. Again, when you roll over them, it gives you the preview for all of them. Go with this rainbow one. That one's pretty cool. And then when you click on it, it applies to all of your slides. And then you can also see over here variants. You can change to different colors. I could switch between a dark background and a light background. I could choose between all these different color gradients. It looks like, at least for this one, all it's really changing is my chart colors. Depending on the theme you pick, it could change different things. I could also change my background color if I wanted. Make it gray, so it's a little less dark. And then when you change your theme, it also, in some cases, will change your text. So for instance, in this one, it changed it to a font that's in all capital letters. On my title slide, again, all capital letters. It moved the subtitle over here. Sometimes it changes the look of the bullet points. and the table. So when you're picking a theme, you kind of want to do that early on before you apply a bunch of formatting, because it's easier to change the formatting after the theme has applied its presets. I'm going to go back to my slide 1, go to the Insert tab, Images Group, Pictures. That opens up the Pictures folder on my computer. And I want to insert my Smart Cookie Bakery logo, which I can either double click that or click it once and press Insert. And unlike when we're working with pictures in Word, in PowerPoint, you're able to move the pictures around without wrapping the text. So you can put your cookie wherever you want. You can increase the size. Just going to put it right here in the corner. If my theme I had picked altered my title and subtitle over here to a way where it's not really readable, in this case it's certainly readable, but maybe I might want to increase the size of my subtitle a little bit, I can click right in that text box. These are two separate text boxes, which I can see from the dotted lines. Highlight the text I want, and then increase the size. So as you can see, I can only go up to size 50. The size of a text is contained by the size of its text box. So if I were to increase the size of my text box, then I can go back and highlight this again and then increase the size. So that's just something to be aware of. If you're trying to increase your text size and it's not going anywhere, it might not be able to leave the bounds of your text box, and you might have to change that around a little bit. So we're going back to slide 2. Then on slide 2, I want to go back to the Insert Group, Illustrations Group, Shapes, and then in my block arrows, I want to pick the second block arrow that's facing towards the left. That'll turn my cursor into a plus sign, showing that I can draw my arrow on my slide. Click, hold, and drag. And then I want my arrow to be pointing towards my top seller, the Southwest. I'm just going to move that right next to the Southwest, and I can move my text box off to the side. I can see with the alignment guide that's lined up with the center of the arrow. I want my Southwest bullet, the arrow, and top seller all kind of in line with each other. Then I want either my text box or my arrow selected. It doesn't matter which one. And I'm going to hold down the Control key on the keyboard and select the other. Holding down Control allows you to select multiple objects at once. So with these two selected, going to right click on one of them, it doesn't matter which one, and then press Group and Group again. And now I can see the line around them has gotten bigger, and when I move them, these are now a collective unit. So until I ungroup them, they will always move around together. And the reason that we group them together is so we can apply an animation to both of them at the same time. They move as one unit. So to do that, we're going to go to the Animations tab. Then when you click More on here, you can see there are entrance animations, emphasis animations, and exit animations. We want to apply one of the entrance animations. You can pick any one you want. When you click on it, it'll give you a preview. Whichever one you want. And if you go to the preview group, in our case, that's just going to play the animation again because it's the only animation on the slide. If we went to the animation pane, that gives us a little more options in terms of timing. Again, we only have one animation, so we don't really have to worry about the order of anything. If we had multiple, you could press play all, and then it would show them in sequence. We can close the animation pane over here. And now we're finally going to get over to slide 3. Want to click anywhere in our text to open up the text box. And then you want to move your text box so it's taking up half the amount of space. You could move it towards the right or the left, it doesn't matter which one. Just want to move it over so it's only taking up about half. Doesn't have to be exact. This will be fine. You want to click outside of your text box so it's not selected. Then go into the Insert tab, Images group, Pictures, same as before. And this time we're going to select the PowerPoint John Doe image and insert. And I'm just going to resize that a bit so it fits next to my text box. Now, if you have a theme that makes your slide background white, which I'll actually change that for a second so we can see, you won't be able to tell that there is a white border around this picture. But if your slides are like mine and it has a darker background, we'll be able to tell. Either way, we don't need this white background, so we're able to crop our image to a shape and it will take the corners of the image off. So to do that, with my picture selected, I can see the Picture Tools Format tab. I want to go to the Size group, the drop down under Crop, Crop to Shape, and that's going to give me all the shape options. Just pick this oval in Basic Shapes, and then that takes out the white background of the picture. It's just the circle of our John Doe picture. We're going to slide 4. When we select our chart, we can see the Table Tools tab appears with Design and Layout. If we go to Design, we can pick Table Styles. You put your cursor similar to the themes. It gives you a preview of what it might look like. And in Table Style Options, if we select Header Row, it'll put a little more emphasis on this top row to show that it is the category titles rather than data. And if we wanted to, we could also change the colors of our clustered column on slide 5 in the same way. Click on the chart anywhere, you'll get Chart Tools Design. See there's all the different designs, so it actually shows up a little better on the slide. And then when you've made your charts look how you want them to, our last step is going to be inserting slide transitions. We're going to go to the transitions group. Then there's all these different transitions. They have them categorized as subtle, exciting, and dynamic. Exciting are, as the name implies, a little more fun. When you click on it, it shows you the preview of what it'll look like between each slide. You can pick whichever one you want. If we look over here, we can see these little stars represent animations and transitions. So this slide, we put the animation on the arrow. So that's why it has the star here. This slide is where we applied our transition. So it has the little star here. But we want our transition to apply to every slide. Over here in the timing group, you can press apply to all. And then we'll be able to see over here, it's applying to all of our slides. They all have that star icon. And if we were to make our presentation full screen through slideshow from beginning, be able to see that transition. You can click through with your arrow keys or the space bar. I put the crumpling paper animation, and then I have my animation over here. And between each slide, it's going to do that transition. And then when I get to the end of my slideshow, it's going to say end of slideshow, click to exit. You can also press the escape key. That has completed our lesson for PowerPoint.